Hello, friends, I'm back, and today I decided to talk about the myths and misconceptions surrounding the subject of astrology. So, feel free to post your questions about this subject only, and we should talk about some of the myths and misconceptions surrounding the subject of astrology. So, a lot of times when I've been offering readings and people approach me or I share with them about what I do, and they say, "Oh, but I don't need to know the future." So many people have this great misconception and myth that astrology is about knowing the future. They have a misconception that astrology is about you will know everything from astrology. So let me break this myth, let me break this misconception right now, and let me say that astrology does not tell you everything. It is not possible to predict the future 100%. So let us be honest about this. Astrology cannot say everything about your life. It cannot say everything about your future, nor can it say everything about your past. So, astrology works in a certain way, and let's try to understand that. Any outcome or any situation or any result that we get in life is composed of two parts. So I always say it in the form of an equation because I'm an engineer, so I like to express in the form of equations. So I always say that an outcome in your life is equal to the circumstances indicated in your chart plus the choices you make. So it is the circumstances in your life which are indicated by astrology very strongly, very nicely, plus the free will, plus the choice. And your choices come from your conditioning, your choices come from your level of consciousness. So there are two factors: the circumstances as indicated by astrology, and the choices which are determined by your conditioning and level of consciousness. So an astrologer cannot predict your future outcomes. He can predict your future circumstances. There is a difference. He can predict the situation in which you will be, or which you are the kind of situations you are likely to encounter. The astrologer can tell you the kind of situations you are likely to encounter. He can tell you what is the energy surrounding those situations, but he cannot tell you the outcome, because the outcome is fairly dependent on the choices you make. It is fairly dependent on the level of consciousness which you have. So this is one of the biggest myths, that astrology can tell you the exact future. Yes, astrology can be used to make predictions, but it is not that astrology can tell you your whole life and then you don't have to live it, or then you don't have to, then there's no purpose and fun in your life. Let's not think of it in that way. Let's not think of astrology as a way that I will know everything once I do an astrological reading. And let's not think that there is no fun in my life once I get an astrological reading because I'll know everything. I'm sorry, you won't know everything. So that is what I want to share about the misconceptions surrounding astrology. So, so maybe another misconception which people probably have about astrology is that probably many people think that astrology can, astrology, when people come for readings, I like to kind of let me think about how I can frame this. When people come for readings, they think that the astrological periods or the astrological combinations, which are not so nice, which are not so auspicious, which are kind of malefic, They think that these combinations are going to ruin their lives. And let me tell you, friends, that the impact which astrology or the planets or the entire existence has on you is also dependent, and the impact it has on you, it depends on the kind of karma you have, it depends on the kind of consciousness level you have, and it depends on the kind of choices you make. So the more conscious choices you make, the more you negate the malefic effects of astrology when you make conscious choices. And with your awareness, you actually negate the malefic effects of astrology. Like my teacher says, that tomorrow if it is raining outside your house, or you know it is going to rain and the weather forecast says it's going to rain, once you have this awareness, you start carrying an umbrella, and that saves you from the rains. So awareness works in this way. It is very powerful. So I think that we need to go to astrologers and astrology in a very evolutionary way. We need to access astrology in an evolutionary perspective, and not from a perspective of fear that, oh, what will happen to me, and not with a perspective of greed that, oh, I want to snatch something uh, from someone, I want to snatch something from life itself. And that is why I need to know the astrological combinations. Let us treat it as a tool for growth, let us treat it as a tool for evolution. And I thank you everyone for watching this. Stay tuned, and I'll also be posting about the very important transit of Saturn into Sagittarius, which is coming up in a few days, and I'll be posting a blog about that. Also, if you feel like connecting with me, asking more questions about your individual charts, please feel free to book a session with me. Thank you.